something like this is a little challenging with this guy here, but that is an option. This is Bupleurum. Also love Bupleurum because it has that chartreuse, so I think I'm going to go with the Bupleurum and maybe some bells on this. So these are bells of Ireland. These are also great greens, and you get a choice. I mean, I like the form of the bell, so I'll take the leaf off here, right? And so I'm probably not going to follow the rules because I don't really follow rules. So I gave you guys rules, but I don't follow rules. So we're just going to make the hand tied. But really important for your hand tied bouquet is that the looseness and the crossing of the stems. What most people do is they'll just choke it, right? And then you don't have any air. So you want to create space between your flowers. You want to also find the hole. So it's challenging. Most of you guys are going to be like, this is totally frustrating. I can't stand it. Can I just do it in 2 ways? Which you totally can, because you don't have to do it this way because you're not making 100 at a time, right? So that's the other thing. We have to learn how to just make them quickly. And so I'm going to go with a couple of those, maybe one more piece. And I layer stuff in. So some of this boof is a little branchy, not ideal. I have some smaller boof. So also being a flower farm, because we have the 3 different sizes of bouquets, I'm going to make this large stem work for me, and then I'll have some smaller stems for my smaller bouquets. So I'll put this in my little guy over here. I got this, right, and I'll put this one over here as well. Put this back in. Good. So now I have this. I want to make sure that my lily has its place, that people can see it, not burying it too much. Now some of these top ones, they're going to open. It's, it's okay. I might take that off just because it's a little, distracting, I would say, in the bouquet. Maybe I'd even take it down one more notch. I like that better. These bulbs, what are they, like 1820s?
They're big.
They're big.
They come bigger than they're at.
Right, so then I think I'm going to, secondary, I'm going to go with the larkspur, and then I love the goetia, and I'm going to put some of the coral goetia in, and I keep weaving it in, and I don't know if you noticed, and you want to keep your stems clean, right? So how does your bouquet stay nice? You got to keep the stems clean, you got to keep it cut. I would change your water every other day. I would recut your stems every other day. I would deadhead anything that falls out, keep it going. If it starts to look like it doesn't meet your sort of like what you were trying to create, break it up, put it into smaller vases. Like you can have your bouquet last 2 weeks if you wanted it to, by picking it out, by working with it. That's kind of the end of the way that one goes. So I'm going to add in, so this is another spiky element. So I was like, okay, well I like this, I like this. I like repeated colors, repeated patterns. So that's where I'm going. I think, I want to bring out those. And I like the different tones within that spectrum. Right, so I'm going to maybe put some bolder. This is a really fun cosmos. Our cosmos have just started, and it gives a little bit of a more pop, right? So it's giving me that little bit of oomph that I want, a little interest. And then coming out here, maybe 3 of these. I do like to work in 3s and 5s, but it does not have to be 3 and 5 of the same flower. It can be 3 and 5 of the same color, same form, and like repeated in its sort of beauty. So now we have that. Nice. And then we have some of this fun. So the goetia comes in all these different forms. There's this great sort of candy stripe one, which is really fun. So I'm going to bring that one in. I already have the coral one. Now I think I want some, and then here are the sweet peas. And this, so we grow these in the tunnel. It's been a little bit of a rough year for us in terms of, we have a disease going on, so it wasn't the greatest crop, but there's still a lot of beautiful vine. And so this is fragrant. The wild sweet pea vine is not fragrant. That's a little pale. So I think I'm going to go with the hot stuff. I'm going to go hot pink. So here's the hot pink. I love the tendrils. This is your wild sweet pea. You can forage it. It's a great green. The tendrils are amazing. So I'm gonna have that, maybe, and I'm gonna tuck it in so I can have that, and then I'll bring that piece back. So right now I'm still got my crossing. This is going. It's looking pretty good. I think I might get what other little special beauties in the dianthus is I think that cherry. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the cherry here. So a little bit of that chunk just to break it up. And do another one. Good, and now I feel like I want one more little element to bring out the Floral yellow. So I think I would bring in some yarrow into that. Or I could also choose to do some of the feverfew. So, where's that yarrow? Poppy head. Yeah. The yellow yarrow. Here's the little yellow yarrow. So the yarrows, you have your Philipendula, like the hybrids. There's cloth of gold, and those are bolder. They have a different habit than your millefoliums. Those are more creeping, and so those are more like the terracotta, which are like this, and the pinks, which are super fun. And then here you go. So I could have also used calendula in here if I wanted. Like if I wanted to stay more orange, I could have gone. I do love this black centered calendula, which is super fun. And I could put that in there just to play off of my lily there. So that's basically your hand tie. And then you're gonna basically cut it. Now if I was gonna say, okay, here's my hand tie. I've got this vase at home, right here. Right, this is Johnny Keenan. He worked for us for years. He lived here. He's an amazing builder and he's helped out on the farm for years. But so I love this vase. And then I would just put it in the vase and there you go. So then from there you can, voila! So, you know, and now I can look at it. I think I want one more. I want one more fabulous snapdragon. Is that one? That one's that close. Maybe I'll go with that floral for this one. So, one more Fat Daddy. Love this rainbow sherbet thing. And, you know, you can add into it. So once you get it into the vase, then you can mess with it, right? So if you get these, then you can say, oh, this is too high, I can cut it down. Or like, maybe I don't like that piece there. I can rotate, I can put that somewhere, I can find a better spot there, and you can fluff. You can fluff and you can make it do whatever you want. So that way, I still have the effect of my greenery, but I'm weaving in the elements so that I don't have to smash the greenery all on one side. Right? That gets a little challenging. So that would be my other sort of, and then I also think, you know, okay, this is a chunkier green, so I want some air and movement in that. I could go all chunk. I mean, I love all chunk. You could go, you know, Parthimus and Dianthus only, you know, if you want it, but and then maybe a little pop in there if you want the pop. I'm going to bring this up so you can see it a little better. Bring this up, but you get to play with that, and that's where it's already, you know, in there. So, and I wouldn't, so the thing that you want to be careful of is too many filler, right? I mean, me personally, I just think it gets a little confusing when I do a bunch of sap, and then I do the larkspur, and it's all the same type of form of filler, and it just looks confusing. I mean, you can go for it in a wildflower bouquet, no problem, but you do want to kind of add in the elements of, you know, interest into that. So in this, I'm probably going to go ahead and throw in a little vine, because I want the vine. Yeah, and then...
Well, some filler, like if you don't start with that out of the gate, you can't like...
It's like this. It's your armature, right?
Yeah,
It's
you
your
can't like put it on the side of the bouquet.
It doesn't really work. Right?
But some filler you can use around the edge of the bouquet.
Right.
So sort of getting to know your fillers that way.
Right, and so here, just a little more of that. And so I want to bring in more aspects of the yellow, so I think I will go ahead and break it up, because that's kind of nice with the Carthnus and the feverfew, so I would go there.